So we picked the sunniest, hottest day in Birken's history to do this interview in front of these beautiful black solar panels. Hello, I'm Ajahn Sona. Welcome to Sauntering into Silence, and this is my guest, who I'm a guest of, Ajahn Sona.
Hello. This is a great little video. I have been doing two things. Dhamma talks, endless Dhamma talks, but I'm also very interested in the transition of clean energy for the planet. And what we've got here is an example of what can be done. And this is only available in the last year or two. The electric chainsaw, a cordless electric chainsaw. Now, Jyoti's got that battery. That battery is an AP300. It's got about 300 watt hours available to it. And it can put out about equivalent energy to the gas electric saws. And we have been through many years, because we run exclusively up to now on firewood. At one point, we were using 40 cords a year and harvesting it ourselves. We're now down to less than 6, and with a super insulation and so forth, we have reduced our firewood demands. At present, we are stocking up about 5 years worth of beautiful birch firewood. It's probably 18 or 20 cords worth. And we have to cut it. We have it brought here in lengths, 15 feet or more. And on a logging truck and deposited. Now we have to cut it and split it and stack it, etc. So the process is this machine here. This is a still, and I have had other cordless battery chainsaws before, and electric. We had an electric Makita. This is far superior. This really competes perfectly. In fact, outcompetes our gas chainsaws for cutting large amounts of substantial dimension firewood. These birch logs are anywhere from, this happens to be, that's about a 20-inch diameter on that birch log. This saw cuts that, no problem. Here is some fir. This is about a foot in diameter, cuts it no problem. Pine is nothing. So this is entirely adequate for the type of wood, the birch, the fir, the pine that we have in this area. And it does a superb job, and we have done all kinds of scientific measurements on this. Now, this saw is running off panels. This entire monastery is solar. So we run off the panels into a battery bank, and then we charge our saw, the battery on our saw, with sunshine. And so this thing is running without any gasoline and on our own production. And of course, what happens is we actually overproduce solar during the time of the summer when you cut. We actually overproduce. So it's a great use of the saw and the battery. And this process, so we got a 2 kilowatt solar array behind us, and probably to cut 18 cords would take about 18 kilowatts, 18 kilowatt hours. So this panel in about 9 hours of good sunshine could produce enough to cut 6 years worth of firewood for us. So this is the amazing thing. And would you like to talk about it, Jyoti? Because you're the one that's using it.
Right. So the thing I like about this saw is it's the battery pack. It has one disadvantage is that I can cut for about 15-20 minutes with it, and then I have to come and recharge it. It takes about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours to charge. But for me, that's actually great because it gives me time to work on other projects. And so what I do is first thing in the morning, I'll do one cut, charge the battery. Right before lunch, I'll do a second cut. Then I come back after the meal, do a third, mid-afternoon, a fourth, and then in the evening, before I take my shower, I'll do a fifth cut. And that's about 20 cords of firewood that I can get in those 5 cuts.
Well, 2 cords.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I can get in 2 cords of firewood. Did I say 20? I wish I could get in 20.
20's on your mind. Yeah.
But-
So that's pretty good in a day, nicely spaced, so you're not over. And in the meantime, while the battery's charging, you can do splitting. We have a splitting machine as well, and so you need to not only cut, but you need to split and transport. So it's ample opportunity.
The other thing I like about this saw is that with a gas saw, the advantage there is when you run out of gas, but you have to carry this heavy gasoline can around, and it smells. This doesn't smell, but when a gasoline saw runs out of gas, you need to change the bar oil. You need to add bar oil to it. We had a Makita saw which plugged in, and Jody Paula wasn't wise enough to figure out that you had to check very often the bar oil, so I may have killed our Makita electric saw. But it was still running on gasoline because I had to plug it into a generator. So we weren't really using sunlight. So I started using this, and the nice thing is it's timed, so when the battery runs out, this is about half or 2/3 used up the bar oil. So it prevents you from overheating the engine.
Yeah, forgetting about bar oil. Yeah, so it's nicely timed. Beautiful. And so it really is every bit as effective, but better on such things as vibration. So Jyoti, explain what it feels like to use a gas-powered versus this.
Yeah. So it's much lighter. It's still substantial, but it's much lighter than a gas, and it's quieter when you're running it. And I have a few videos we'll intersperse here of showing you the difference, showing you how it cuts.
Right.
And I think it's actually faster. Well, one thing too is they have because it's electric. Maybe they have a kind of a smaller chain.
A
thinner, lighter chain.
The kerf is thinner. Yeah.
I'll show in another video. Every single time I charge the battery, we have this new tool that really makes it very easy to sharpen. So I just go over 3 times on the blade, each of the different little blades here, and this thing is extremely sharp. I could cut myself if I touched it, and so that just makes the gravity does all the work. Actually, you'll see in the videos, like when I set the log on there, I'm just pulling the trigger. I'm just guiding it. I'm not using any physical muscles at all to cut the firewood, which sometimes you have to do with the gas. You kind of
Yes. So we made this because this is now serious firewood cutting and for very many other purposes. It is the breakthrough. It is here. And batteries are only getting cheaper and stronger and better. But this one is entirely adequate and will last for many, many years, perhaps 10 years.
Well, I'm working with it.
Don't worry, you can't hurt that battery. The battery is, they have electronics in there designed to prevent Jyoti Palos from
They're light
massacring.
proof.
Yeah.
Light protect. That's
Yeah.
a Jyoti Palo in there.
Yeah. So, and that's a very nice that it is, it's not something that you have to struggle with. So we think it's a breakthrough. It's absolutely beautiful. And especially that it's running. So we're cutting our firewood with sunlight. And Jyoti's famous phrase is that firewood, unfortunately, doesn't grow on trees. There's a lot of human sweat in it, so we make it easy and take away the fumes in your face, the loud noise. This thing is half the volume of a gas chainsaw. The starting pull. That endless... And then the air filter.
Here's the starting pole.
Yes.
I don't have the battery in. That's embarrassing. Uh-oh, what happened? See?
It's empty.
Oh, I know what it is.
Oh. Here's the starting pole. There we go.
Press that button and...
Yes. That's it. Instant. So you don't have to leave your chainsaw bubbling away. Like gas chainsaws, you don't want to turn them off even though you're not cutting. This, when you're not cutting, it's instantly off. And so this much maximizes the energy use as well. So I think that is a nice summary, and we will show you that our electric car can also charge the battery, etc. So there are many, many other aspects to this whole energy structure. Okay?
So once there's a vaccine for COVID-19, please come to Birken and recharge your batteries.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Recharge your batteries.
3, 2, 1.
This is another synergy in the monastery and should be throughout the world. All of our power here for most of the year is produced by solar, and our car is a plug-in hybrid Mitsubishi. It's an all-wheel drive, and we use it on these rough country roads, and we charge it off our solar panels, and it can take us all the way to Kamloops, about 40 kilometers away. We charge it in Kamloops on BC Hydro, and we get free charge all the way back, so we haven't bought gas for quite some time. The other advantage of this, it has a 1500 watt charger in the AC charger in the car, and you can plug your still battery in if you're out at a work site. You can also run any power tools off of it as well. The battery in the car is about 11 kilowatt hours and can put out lots of energy. So this is like you can transport to any work site and run your power tools off of it. So wonderful. So this is just one more example of how things are starting to mesh in the world, all electric world for the future. An all solar, wind, hydro, electric storage, tools, cars, everything. Yeah. So this is our nice electric lift. And then